Hello guys, welcome to my new setting. I gotta say, I couldn't be more excited. We got AC, we got a little living room, and there's no moisture in the air. I've just massive steps up. But I did do one grave mistake today, and here it is. You guys want to see it? Look at this, look at this. All right. I wore a slightly red shirt, and I think that's why I'm red today. I don't know, we could talk about the individual trades, but I'm pretty sure if you wear a red shirt or red, it's not going to be a good trading day. And that's pretty much what happened to me today. So today I was hoping, my goal was to, keep going on our green streak. We had 8 green days in a row. Today could have been the 9th green day, but we're ending it right now red. And if you'll see in a second, it's pretty late in the day, so I was trying to get back green on the day, but at one point I was like, man, there's the opportunities are very limited right now, so anything I do, I feel like I'm really just pushing it for no reason. So I went upstairs, went to the gym, went to the pool for an hour, and now I'm back and I'm ready to do the recap and just kind of share the trading today, because there was one really good move pre-market, and I'm excited to talk about it. And I'm sure a lot of you guys already know which one that is. So let's go ahead, switch the screen, and talk about the tickers. And also, just really quickly here's my September calendar. So on Tuesday last week, we started off our first green day, and then we had 4 green days in a row, then another 4, and then today was Friday. But we just couldn't keep up the green streak. But overall, I gotta say, really nice. And actually, if you click, let's say the first day, let's say we click here on the 14th, we'll go right to from the calendar with those dates selected. So if we remove this last date range and we're making sure we're only looking at day trading small cap challenge, we'll see here if we click apply those settings, we'll scroll down. That was a 4.5, almost pretty much a $4.6 thousand green streak that we had. So really, really nice cumulative green streak that unfortunately is coming to the end. But these things, they're so easy to sometimes look at and get caught up in, and ultimately they make they're super irrelevant. They have no relevancy actually with trading. They're just one of those things that sometimes you look at with your statistics and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. So it's really important to keep every individual day on its own. Obviously, you want to know some larger trends like summertime, less volume, less momentum. So maybe take the risk off a little bit by reducing size or taking profits a little quicker. In fall and winter, and sometimes in early spring, sometimes you have a little bit more action. So you maybe want to bring some bias in that the market's a little bit hotter and trade a little bit more aggressively. But ultimately, every trade should be its own trade. Yesterday, I had, boom, really big loser in like a few minutes. No, in just 1 minute, I had almost $1,000 loser yesterday. And I think that trade messed me up on future trades. And I basically ended the day up just, I think like $150 or something. So it was a small green day, more of a scratch day. So you want to come in each day with a fresh new mindset, and I think that's something that I've been working on and trying to work on a lot. Easier said than done, but I did want to kind of share that with you guys. That again, that's really a focus of mine, and that's why lately I've not been reading the news. I've not been reading. Well, I read macro news, but when it comes to company specific news, which I call micro news, I try not to be so focused on it. I try not to be overly focused on the shares and all that stuff. It helps, but lately, I just want to remove as many biases as possible. There's a bit of a process that I've been working on. So here you see the date. I'm only down $230, so it was a small red day. I was up originally like $500-600, and then I just kind of started giving it back one at a time, and I was waiting for some good setups, but we weren't really getting it. We had a lot of wishy-washy moves, like with UFAB. This ticker was just, it was such nonsense. So we'll talk about it in a second. But a lot of these tickers, I was either up pretty nicely on, or I was up or I was down pretty nicely on, and all of them I pretty much just ended in a scratch. So either did okay and then gave back, or did really bad and then made back, but I wasn't able to I get some traction and make some positive, moves forward all day. So that was a little bit discouraging. We'll just start with the biggest losers and work our way up to I guess our biggest winner, which is AEHR, which isn't really that big of a winner at all. All right, so starting with CAPR, which isn't even popping up anymore on the lead gappers, I think. Yeah, no, it's not popping up at all. So let's go to this one by typing it in manually. And what I like to do is start on the daily just to kind of get a bit more of an overview. you see this one was a gap up day. We had good, potential for another 12% pop here before big resistance at 6.5, but unfortunately we didn't get it. It was a biotech, had a catalyst here. Let's see, market cap 116 million and then 23 million shares outstanding. So it was definitely in our wheelhouse. This is typically a stock that I'm exactly looking for. Right now, it's one of the lead gappers on the day, or lead stocks on the day, based on dollar volume. So basically price times volume. It's my little calculation to understand or compare different stocks quicker, because let's say a $56 stock compared to a $5 stock, it's going to have totally different shares being traded. So how do you compare these? So that's why I have this custom dollar volume filter right here to kind of line them up to see which ticker is actually the most traded ticker. If you guys want that dollar volume filter as well, just go to, I think in the video description below, we have it. And if it's, I don't know, it's definitely in the video description below, but you can also find in the Discord, I think under the TD Ameritrade channel, where we talk about TD Ameritrade things. So let's zoom in a little bit more on this ticker, see what happened as it opened up. Scroll forward here a little bit. Let's go on the 5 minute as well. Zoom in on the 5 minute. It's always good to have a general overview. Okay, so we got the daily here, we got the 5 minute here, and we got the 1 minute here. This ticker pops up, pulls back and runs here a little bit, but it holds its highs pretty nicely. And this is kind of when I started watching this ticker. I didn't trade any of this, but as it was holding its highs and moving up here, I thought it was kind of interesting. Unfortunately, I was a little late to the party on this one and started trading it pretty late, right in this area. This was some of my first trades here. Made a little bit of profit on this one, and then I gave back some on this pullback, and then I kind of missed this spike to the upside, which was a little bit annoying. And then I tried to trade this a few times in this area, and this is really where I got whacked quite a bit with CAPR. Actually, hold on, fake news. I actually ended up trading, I bought a little bit right here and got this little pump to the upside. I thought we were going to get continuation here, but we didn't. We broke this area, and I just didn't cut my losses probably as quick as I should have. So that was a little bit unfortunate, but I was trading with pretty decent size today. So sometimes like a small red trade, like a 2-3% red trade, I'd be taking like a $400 or $500 loss. So it was just constantly like giving back profits, but then making a little bit, but maybe not getting aggressive soon enough. Yeah, I don't know, kind of like a classic Friday where you're just not really dialed in. Anyway, this ticker at the open didn't really do anything besides sell off, and I don't know, I didn't really have much interest in it. You could have maybe traded this big support line bounce. I mean, this was a really nice bounce here. Could have maybe done a few things, but I don't know. I didn't feel like it was the most interesting ticker. That's why at one point CAPR, I kind of just walked away from watching that one. Now UFAB, this ticker, I was up pretty nicely on. I should have just walked away when I was up nicely on this one. I was just never up like more than 4 or 5% on the day. And to me, that's not really the point you want to be walking away on. But I don't know, maybe on a Friday when the action's not that great, maybe it is worth walking away on. I don't know. You could debate that topic forever. I'm not sure you'll ever really find a good answer. But yeah, today it would have probably worked to walk away. But all the other days, we've been seeing a lot of good action. So I think it's worth trading longer lately. Okay, UFAB. Let's pull this one up. And this one's actually on our watch list still, so it didn't sell off totally. But actually, let's start with the daily again. So daily here, big sell-off. Starts finding a little bit of a bottom, nice little 67% sell-off from the highs, and then whack, we had a nice big gap up day with potential upside to about 4 or 5. So keep this 4 or 5 zone in mind. This is where the big moving 180-day simple moving average comes in play, and also really significant multi-day, multi-week risk reward. Resistance zones, because we have breakouts from these areas, retests from these areas, and they're really significant. They go back really far. So I always like to sometimes start on the daily or even start on a weekly, and this time I didn't start on a weekly, but see where those really important trend lines. So let's say the price keeps going up here. Well, I would probably put a trend line right around here at $8 and another one somewhere here around 7. And if we zoom in a little bit, you can see this is an area where we start seeing a lot of resistance. So I would keep that in mind on the intraday as well. That's just a little bit of an example. For now, let's keep an eye on this 4-5 zone like we were talking about before, and check out some of these statistics here. Auto company, 40 million market cap, shares 11.8 million shares. So it's a nice classic small cap for sure, with a bunch of catalysts coming out today. All right, let's zoom in a little bit here intraday and see how this puppy was performing. This was a really aggressive move to the upside, 40% move here, but I totally missed this one, probably because at first it didn't have that much volume, and I kind of discounted it, and before it really became interesting, it was done. This move was over before it really began. Sold off, held its highs, not that great. Did pop up again here a little bit, but man, this ticker was a little bit hectic. Actually, at the open, it would have been maybe worth trading, but at the time, I think I was focused on either ZIVO or MRIN. I forgot. We'll talk about that in a second, but I wasn't watching UFAB at first. It wasn't until we had this big flush and we actually recovered that I was like, okay, so it's just shaking out people, but it looks like it has a lot of volume, so there might be some good continuation here. So I got more and more interested on UFAB. Unfortunately, I made the grave mistake of not trading this ticker like I should have. This is a very kind of flushy ticker. We have a lot of wicks in both directions. So I should have not been trading breakouts, but I should have been buying the lows on wicks, waiting for quick moves to the upside, taking profits quickly. I think that would have been the way to trade UFAB. So let's go and see how I traded this one. A little bit of a breakout here. Took profits too soon, but my entry also was more of a breakout. I should have been buying on the low wicks, like I just said. And then this happens again and again and again. I'm constantly buying near highs, trying to get the breakouts, but they turn into more fake outs. Again, buying low in this area, but just closing right away. Let's look in here and see these flushes to the downside. I should have been buying into these, especially after they slow down, because this ticker sometimes flushes one candle, and then if you just wait here a little bit and notice there's buyers coming in, that would have been a good time to buy. So I just didn't have the right strategy today. Let's zoom here a little bit further. You'll see, again, finding a lot of support here at VWAP. If you're just constantly buying and scalping this ticker, it would have been the way to trade today. I, unfortunately, was constantly trying to buy these breakouts and looking for continuation. Every time we didn't get that continuation, and I was constantly just, giving back profits again and again and again. So all these trades, in a different ticker, they would have worked, but this ticker, I just didn't adjust my strategy like I should have. One thing I did right was just kind of walk away. At one point, I was like, this ticker is really losing steam. Look at this volume selling off. It's probably not worth trading, and God knows, like, if I keep trading this one, it's probably just going to flush at one point, because look at all these flushes and nasty wicks, and there's only a matter of time before I get caught in one of these. So that's why I stopped trading it, and thank God, because this ticker, nasty, absolutely nasty. Wow, imagine buying into one of these breakouts and just getting flushed here 6% or so. 6% is actually not that bad, but this one's like 9% here. This one even more, 8%, but yeah, nasty. It just ruin your day so fast. Let's go to ZIVO, another ticker I'm slightly red on, ZIVO, which is okay, because luckily I was able to milk ZIVO. I think it was on Monday. This was a Monday gapper, and we did pretty good on ZIVO. So it was, made like $1,000 plus on it. So I'm not complaining. I guess I'll give back $26, but yeah, this is another classic example of just not getting aggressive early enough and then kind of FOMOing around later on, which was a huge mistake. Yeah, ZIVO was the perfect example of a ticker that, it's on a front side, it's getting hot, it's getting nice volume coming in. You want to get aggressive on this one. You want to keep averaging into this ticker. So in the Discord, actually, Chase absolutely slayed this ticker. He was up 22% on it, and smart, he walked away and just wrapped it up. So it's 6:11 a.m. My local time right now, which is 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So pre-market on TOS just opened up, 11 minutes now. He's up 22%, made his money, and walked away. Colby really summed it up well when he said, you can't do that with a 9 to 5. 22% at 7:13 a.m. I mean, boom, just absolutely beautiful. So I wanted to share that. Amazing work. It really just goes to show that getting aggressive on these front side moves is the way to play a hot market, because once the front side move is over and it starts consolidating, it gets much more tricky to trade. Yeah, so let's go to the daily and quickly review this one. So ZIVO on the daily, on Monday, we had a big move, sold off totally, and then today we had a second big move with even lighter volume, at least at the moment. Shares, 10 million shares, market cap 50 million market cap. Personal products company. Let's see, did it have a catalyst? I'm not even sure. I didn't check, but I don't really care. The beautiful thing about this is we had this was a recent gapper, so people saw ZIVO gapping up and people got excited. Unfortunately, I didn't get excited early enough. I don't know what it was. Changing places, I was setting up a screen, I was doing all these things that you shouldn't be doing at pre-market open, but I was doing because that's just life sometimes. yeah, so I buy this one a little bit late, small size though. So I'm able to ideally average into it or average out based on what if it went down. I probably would have bought a little bit more. If it went up, I would have probably tried to do the same. But here I just get shaken out. Like I'm not in the right state of mind. I'm not alert. I'm not ready to go, and I just close my position when I should have been buying more and more and more. Luckily, I did realize that, and I did take this little pullback trade. You can see it's a partial fill here, kind of an awkward size. I try to buy a little bit more, and it does have a breakout, but again, I sell right away. I don't even let it break out properly. Look, I sell at 667. I don't know. I'm nervous Nancy right here, and sloppy Sally's cousin. I don't know what's going on. I do buy a little bit of a pullback here, but this pullback, look at this, entry at 68, and I sell right away again. So I have no chill in trading this one. Also, I bought pretty high for how much it pulled back. So I didn't have, I wasn't really relaxed. I was too tunnel vision on this one, and I wasn't ready to go. And you could really see that with my trading. So you always want to be ready to go at least like 10 minutes before 7 a.m. if you're going to trade pre-market like I do. Yeah, then it kind of flattens out here and doesn't do too much for a bit. It breaks out again at one point, and we have that move over $7, and I'm like, here we go. Unfortunately, we don't get that much more of a move, and with ZIVO, I'm red right now, so you're probably wondering at what point do I start giving back profits? And I got to say, this was a little bit annoying because at this point, I'm up like $500 or $600 on ZIVO. A lot of small wins, and I didn't have any of the good wins. I didn't have one proper breakout. This was a 70% move, and I'm up like 4% on this ticker. A little bit of a disgrace. But, I was thinking, okay, well, ZIVO, last time we had a really strong red to green move. This was a little bit more chop trading and nothing really, not a big winner, no big losers. I was waiting for that market open. And on the 5-minute, this ticker was a really nice pennant pattern. And I thought we might have a little bit of a sell-off below the pennant, and then we're going to rip back to the upside. That was my thesis, and I did trade it. Unfortunately, I got chopped out right before the rally back to the upside. And this ticker, this move put me up from like 500 on the day to being down like 100 or 200. And I just missed the move I wanted. And I think that was pretty devastating. So let's go here forward. Big sell-off, I buy one, I accumulate a little bit more, and I accumulate a little bit more here, getting close to a full size. I think I was, yeah, actually I almost had a full size. I was like long 3,000 shares. I was probably ready to do like a $25,000 position size, so that would have been like 4,000 shares. But usually I'm not buying a ticker that's selling off and I'm accumulating into a flush. That's usually not what I'm doing, so I'm a little bit uneasy with that. We get a nice pop here to the upside. We get another little pop, and I'm like, okay, this could be that bounce, that reverse I was looking for. I probably should have just closed my trade, recalibrated in terms of like, okay, let me take a step back, see what happens, because the next thing what happens was the most foolish thing I've done probably all day. Let's see. It doesn't break higher. It flushes down here. I sell pretty much near the low, and guess what? The next candle pops back up. I try to buy this, but I sell right away. I just had no chill left, and then after that, the rest is history. It runs up, has that huge 16% reversal that I would have got. My average at this point was somewhere in this area, but even if I sold at VWAP, that still would have been a 7% win with a $20,000 to $25,000 position size. I mean, so we're talking about it like a $15,000 to $2,000 to maybe $2,500 profit, depending on where I sold, obviously. But just like that, I could have been done for the day, took my profits. And the worst part is I had the right idea, I just had the wrong execution. So that, I feel like that sums up the whole entire day today. I don't think I traded ZIVO anymore because I was like, at this point, I was so emotional on this ticker. I was like, if I trade this ticker, something bad's going to happen. I did actually touch it once in this area. I could have held on this little pop here, but I didn't. Yeah, and after that, I was like, I'm not in the right headspace to trade ZIVO, so another ticker that, got away from me. And then the last ticker is AEHR. Yeah, so I only did one trade on this ticker. It's been a multi-day runner, 374 million market cap, so it's a little bit of a bigger company. That's quite important because these typically trade a little differently. They have a lot of shakeouts. They have a lot of failed attempts. So 25 million shares outstanding, still a lower share count, and it's not the biggest company, so sometimes it could be quite clean. But right now, blue skies, so there's no resistance above, and who knows how high and how aggressive this ticker is going to go. So let's zoom in here a little bit. Sold off leading up to the market open, and Unfortunately, I was so focused on ZIVO. I was in that ZIVO trade that, this one had a little bit of a morning panic and started crawling up here. And guess what? I didn't trade any of this front side move. I'm a little bit, on this recap, I'm really realizing how bad I traded today because I was so focused on tickers that we're not trending to the upside. Usually I make most of my money on front side tickers, especially in hotter markets, and this market's been heating up a little bit. So my mistake today was just not buying the front side. Good breakout here, pull back to VWAP, nice 6% move here, another pullback, another 4% move there. So man, I'm just leaving so much money on the table. AEHR did have another breakout here pretty late in the day, 10:20 a.m., which is late for me. 11% move, pulls back here, and again, I'm just missing this ticker. Little scalp move here, and I don't know, I probably could have scalped it a few more times, but I was just, at this point, I was trading way later than I usually do, and I was just kind of nervous about flushes, and for rightfully so, because look at this one, boom, flush right there. Actually, it doesn't flush that much, but a little flush right here, flush right there. So it's, I don't know. I thought, if I just keep trading right now, it's just, this is really not the time for me to start gunning it, especially on breakouts. Like if I was buying these breakouts, none of them really would have worked. It's really that first nice move after the market open. Those are my favorite, and around the market, pre-market open as well. So yeah, I think a big lesson today was, my mistake was I was not really staying true to my strategy. I wasn't getting out of losers quick enough, and I wasn't really spatially aware of the tickers that I was trading in terms of, for example, UFAB. That was very wicky, but I wasn't, scalping it like I probably should be scalping a ticker like UFAB. I was trying to look for those big winners on a ticker that clearly wasn't the one to be doing that on. So I think that's my big mistake today. Just, I don't know, not being super focused on what's in front of me. And yeah, it goes to show I'm down here $200. But again, very, very small red day. And I think that's really important as well. As long as you're not, getting into a revenge mode, start throwing back profits left and right for no reason. That's really what you want to be focused on. So if you're not in the groove on any one day, totally fine. Wrap up. And once you are in the groove on a different day, that's really one you want to be keeping on trading and making as much money as possible. We could probably review just very quickly here QS, just take a look at it. QS up $2.4 thousand in total. I was up around 3 point something thousand dollars a little bit ago. Yeah, it was right around 10 o'clock. We had this huge rally here. I don't plan on selling this one yet. We're coming into some big resistance at 28, but I'm not really too worried about it yet. I would like to see a second attempt, see if we break that, and then as we approach 32, based on how much energy and how much volume we have in this area, I would maybe consider taking some profits in this area and then rebuying, or if we have a lot of energy and we're breaking 32, hold it till maybe 36 or so from there. But for now, I just want to keep riding QS. All right, guys, that's everything for this recap. I know it was a little longer. I went a bit more in detail with every single trade. I read some comments and you guys were looking for that, so I hope you appreciate it. I'll see you guys again first thing Monday morning. Don't forget to drop a like on the way out. It's the easiest way to support the channel. Consider subscribing if you're new, and like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.